Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So I think Sharon is not here, right? So Nisha is not going to be here. She has something in school. Who else? Not Sharon, Steffi. Steffi, I don't know. Maybe she will join later. Now, this is the question that I have discussed with you last time. And I want to show you how you do this. And, sometimes these questions are a little confusing. Okay. But why it is confusing? Because we don't know the details. That's why. So now I'm going to go through these questions very slowly because I'm expecting a question from this part this year. So binomial expansion along with probability distribution can come this time. Okay, because they have restricted, right? So there is a 99.9 chance that you will get a question like this. So we have to practice a few questions on top of our paper revision. So I will be giving you questions after that so that you will be training on this. Now, I think you remember this question. There are three dice. You are going to roll them, and then we are looking at side 3. Like in a die there are 6 sides, so 1 2 3 4 5 6, like that. So then we are specifically looking at number 3, right? So now understand, in this business there are few notations. X, which is a random variable, you have to understand variable. X is a variable. It's a random variable. Why we call it a random variable? Because randomly chosen. So now our requirement is to have number 3, is to see number 3 on the die, right, when you roll it. Now, what is our requirement? Our requirement is going to be converted into a variable, which is called random variable X. So my random variable X in this experiment, obtaining number 3 on a die. Now, obtaining number 3 and non-obtaining. Obtaining, non-obtaining. We have 2 paths, right? So remember, in this binomial distribution, you have 2 paths: obtaining, non-obtaining, agree, disagree, yes, no. That kind of 2 paths you will have. Why? Because we call it binomial distribution. Bi means 2. Binomial distribution. Definitely you should have yes or no part. You can't have 3 things. Now in this experiment, obtaining number 3, you take it as obtaining, and there is a chance that you are not obtaining. You throw a die, there is a chance that you will get 3. There is a chance that you are not going to get 3. Okay, I hope you understand that. So accordingly, I'm going to say that T, capital T, is obtaining number 3, and N is not obtaining. So then you are going to throw these 3 dice, and then you are expecting possible outcomes. So I have written few all the possible outcomes, right? So there are 3 dice, right? So if you have 5 dice, 6 dice, 10 dice, then what will happen? The possible outcomes are more. Now here, how many possible outcomes you have? You have 8 possible outcomes here, right? For 3 dice. For 3 dice, you have 8 outcomes. So if you have 2 dice, you have probably less than that, right? So depending on the number of experiments you are doing, your possible outcomes are different, right? The number of outcomes are changing. Now, we are lucky that in the first rolling, if you get TTT, that means all three get 333, right? So it's a rare chance, I know, practically, but there is one chance, right, out of all the chances. And then, okay, I hope you can see my cursor. So this is that TTT. All three get 3, 3, 3. Here, you get only, you obtain 2 3s and you are not obtaining in the other one. So first die, you get 3, second die, you get 3, third one, you don't. Likewise, these are the 3 possibilities. These are all the possibilities that you might get when you have two T's. Then this one, obtaining 1 T, obtaining 3 only in one die. So you can see that, okay, easy. So these are all the possible chances. Then there is a chance that you are not going to get 3, right? No, right? Now we have to really understand how do you represent this in math, right? So that is what is required in our business. Now TTT. So this one, T is what? Obtaining 3. That is our random variable, right? Now this is how we are now. Yeah. So this is how we are going to represent it. Probability. Okay. So TTT. Yes. Probability of what is our random variable? Obtaining 3. Okay. This is how you have to read it. Probability of obtaining 3 times. Probability of obtaining 3 times. This one, probability of obtaining 3 2 times. Probability of obtaining 3 1 time. Probability of obtaining 3 0 times. Okay. Now you can see probability of obtaining 3 times. So now what is this X? X is defined as obtaining 3. That is it. Obtaining number 3. So how you pronounce it? Probability of obtaining 3 times. So that is how you sort of understand the given question. Now you understand here, right? So you understand here probability of having these things, right? Probability of having these things would be, probability of having 3 would be 1 divided by 6, right? Probability of having 3 in one die would be 1 divided by 6 because there are 6 faces. Probability of not having would be 5 divided by 6. Okay. Probability of not having. And you understand not having part you can write as 1 minus P. Why? The total probability is 1. Okay.
So that's the non-occurring probability, right?
I can't hear you.
Minus, 1 minus P, 1 is that the non-occurring probability?
What do you mean by non-occurring probability? Like you mean 1 minus P? Yeah. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Non-obtaining. Okay. So 1 minus P and there is Q here. So P is 1 divided by 6. So now you understand this one is 1 divided by 6, 1 divided by 6 and 1 divided by 6. Right. So how many 1 divided by 6s are there? Only one set, right? So your answer would be 1 divided by 6 to the power 3 then, probability wise. Now, are we going to get this one from this notation? Okay. Now this notation is very, very, very important to understand. Okay. Look at this. So general form of this notation is this: probability X is equal to K, N, C, K, blah, blah, blah. We have to understand what is N. N would be the number of trials. How many trials are there? 3 trials. Why? Because there are 3 guys. 3 trials. So all the time you can see 3, 3, 3, 3. N would be 3 here. What is the K value? So you have to understand, you have to connect K with this. K is your necessity, right? So in here, K would be 3. In here, K would be 3. So when K is equal to 3, see, you are going to replace this position. N minus 3, 3 minus 3 is 0, like that. So when you calculate this one, right, you would get this answer, 1 divided by 6 to the power 3. Now here X is equal to 2. X is equal to 2 means obviously obtaining 3 2 times, right, over here. So Now your necessity is 2. So you are replacing k by 2. See, then you will get this. Now what you get here, if you get p squared, see, you can see p squared here. P squared is 1 divided by 6. So you get 1 divided by 6 squared. Then you have 1 minus p to the power 1. So 1 minus p to the power 1, that means 5 divided by 6. Now when you calculate this one, 3c2, when you calculate this one, you get 3 here. So why you get 3 here? Who can explain that to me? Why you get 3 here? Who can explain that to me? So it's very easy, right? So this one, if you get this one, the probability of this one would be 1 divided by 6, 2 times 5 divided by 6. Why? Because you have 2 t's, that is 1 divided by 6 to the power 2, and you have 1 n, that is 5 divided by 6. How many of those you have here? 1, 2, 3. So that's why you have to put 3 here, right? So that's why you have 3 here. Now you don't have to worry about these things. You don't have to have this diagram when you are doing a question. You will see in a minute, right? So what you have to know is you have to know how to play with this, because this will give you everything. NCK, you can see here, 3C2 will give you that 3. So you don't have to have the knowledge of what you are looking at here. Because if I update this into 5 dices, so then what will happen? This sample is humongous. Then, it's very hard to sort of visualize what you get here like this, right? So then we should be able to sort of play with it and understand what is happening here. So similarly, this one is 3 times 1 divided by 6 and 5 divided by 6 squared. Okay, and 3, why it is 3? Mathematically, it's because of this, but if you visualize this, there are 3 sets here. Now this one would be, again, see P0. P0 means 1 divided by 6 to the power 0. So you have 5 divided by 6 to the power 3. What is the coefficient here? Coefficient should be 1. Why? Because you have one set here. And if you mathematically solve it, your answer would be 1. Okay. So this physical situation, we are going to represent by math here. Okay. So math should give the right thing. Okay. So, right. For this one, answer should be 0. So probability of obtaining 3 more than 3. So can you obtain 3 more than 3? No, you have to look at this. See, that's why I told you this general form you have to understand. Okay, I put these things so that I can explain this to you. Now here, what is the maximum value you can put here? N.
3.
N.
In the general form.
Yeah, in general it should be N. Okay, in general it would be N. So this K cannot be more than N, because you can see NCN is the maximum you can do. You can't say NCN plus 1. You can't do that. This is maximum trials, right? Maximum trials. So I'm exceeding that. So that would be 0, obviously. Now, if probability X greater than 2, is Delina here? Delina, you understand?
Yeah.
Okay. Probability X greater than 2. X greater than 2 means, there is no equal, right? So that means you have to get probability X is equal to 3. That's the answer. So X is equal to 3, you can get this answer over here, this one, right? So that would be the answer. Probability X greater than or equal 1. Then what will happen? Probability of X greater than or equal 1. What will happen?
It would equal 1 because it's all the values.
Right. So probability X is equal to 1 plus
Probability X equals 2.
So 2 and probability. I'm
probability
not
X
going
equals
to
3.
write it. Okay, because I'm too lazy. So Probability x less than u equal 3. What is that?
Also 1.
Yes.
It should be 1, right? Good. Is it 1?
Is there a possibility that you can get like 0?
Why?
I don't know.
You can't say I don't know. Just explain what you're thinking.
So like for the third one that you did, the one on the left column, the bottom,
Here we are saying less than, okay?
yeah, no, I know. But like
So what is less than? So if you write it, this should be probability 3, x is equal to 3, plus probability x is equal to 2, plus blah blah blah, probability x is equal to 0.
but okay, yeah.
Yeah, so all the probabilities, that should be 1. Here, probability x less than 0. Equal, less than equal, I'm saying, right? So probability of this that we have here. Where? Here. We have that.
So
Here,
does that mean that these two are equal? The probability less than or equal to 3 and probability, oh wait, no, never mind, sorry. The last one and the top one on the second column.
yeah.
Are those two equal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the value is equal, but they're asking conceptually
Yeah,
two different things. Values are equal. Okay. So, any questions? No, I guess, right? Now, then, who can tell me what kind of questions can be asked from this section? Mainly, there are two kind of questions they might ask. One is find the exact probability, like this. These are exact probabilities. Probability x is equal to 1. Exactly, probability x is equal to 1. That exact value they are looking at. Exact value, x is equal to 2, right? On top of that, they might ask questions like this. These are the two things that they will ask, definitely, and you will see when you are doing the questions. Okay. So x is greater than 2. So this is not exact, right? Cumulative values under some condition, right? So the exact value, exact value you can say probability x is equal to k. This is the exact value, okay? So that would be nck pk q 1 n minus k. You know what is this q means? Q means non-occurring 1 minus p. Okay, so that's very easy to find. Then the next one. Next one is this is exact, right? So this is non-exact. So if you have probability x greater than or equal k, then what will happen? Then this will start, you will get the same thing, nck pk qn minus k, but you have a summation from k to n. Do you understand that or not? Okay, so the next one, probability x greater than k, not equal, right? Not equal here. So if it is not equal, your summations should start. So the last value would be n. Summation should start from the next value. Like that. Okay, I hope you understand that. So for example, let's take this one, right? So here probability x greater than 2. So you are starting from 3, see? So greater than k, if k is given, you are starting from k plus 1. So these three things, you don't have to memorize it, okay? Memorization wouldn't work, you know that, okay? You have to understand what is happening. When you see this, that, and this, you have to understand what are these values, what are the n values, what is k value. and how to play with these things. That understanding you should have. Okay. So if you still don't understand that, you can contact me. Okay. Okay. So binomial CDF. You have to use binomial CDF. And number of trials, this is n, you know that. Probability of success. Okay, what is that? I didn't read it properly, maybe. Returning particular flight for a remote country. Becoming ill, other way around, right? Becoming ill is this, but they're asking not become ill. So not become ill is the success. See, so I have to change it. So this is 0.7, this is 0.3. Not become ill, they're asking. Becoming ill is 0.3. They're asking not become ill. So that would be that. Okay, read the question carefully. So anyhow, probability of success is given 0.7. So that we get from the question. Lower bound 0, that's true because see, we are starting from x is equal to 0. And the upper bound would be 2, that you understand. So when you put that, you get the value. Okay, so I think this is what they are claiming as the answer. Okay, so any other questions here? This is how you play with it. For this one, now you know how many, what is the n value? Because when you are reading it, you can see, how do you know this is a binomial distribution? You have to carefully read and, catch few things to, finalize what it is. So you can see, okay, probabilities are given in a particular week, 20 members, okay, 20 members are given, and then at least 10 of 20, 10 of 20, at least 10 of 20. So that means N and K, that relation is given to you, right, in wording. Minutes, this, right, minutes, this. So your N would be 20, your P would be, it's given, right, 5 divided by 8. Okay, what they're asking, what is your X? What is your X? Will complete S in less than 3 minutes. So will complete S less than 3 minutes. So this would be completing S in less than 3 minutes. That would be your X, random variable. So what you need to find, probability of X, they're asking at least 10. At least 10 means, it can be 10, 11, 12, like that. So greater than or equal 10. This is what they're asking. So if you can't do this, okay, so you can't do this, like don't show this okay, let me show you like what exactly you have to show. This is X greater than 10, right? So you have to write this 20 CK PK 1 minus P 20 minus K, that you can write. At the same time, this is this is not exact. So you can say equal, right? From 10 to 20. That's what you have to mention. This is 2 marks. Then you don't have to evaluate this mathematically, right? You have the CAS. What you have to do is, now in normal distribution, what you have? No, you have mu and sigma, right? In standard normal distribution, you have 0 and 1, right? Binomial distribution, how you describe a binomial distribution? BI, to say binomial, here you have N and here you have P. So this one you can say binomial, right? N is 20 and P is 5 divided by 8. This is how you do that. Again, example, sometimes you will see in papers that normal distribution is defined as X normally distributed mu and sigma. Why? Because X is the random variable, right? X-axis. Then standard normal distribution, N n 0 and 1 like that. Then binomial distribution like this. 20 5 divided by 8, for example, like that. Okay. So now you have to write this for 2 marks, and then you have to write x is now binomially distributed, right? 20 and 5 divided by 8, right? So this is the distribution. You have to say what distribution you are looking at. So in that distribution, you are looking at probability x greater than or equal 10. Okay. This answer, to get this answer, you can use CAS. Don't use the CAS from here. I mean, you have to write something because 2 marks. You have to specify these things because you get partial. Suppose you don't get the answer here, right answer, but you wrote this, you get 1 mark, remember. This is how we hunt marks. Okay. If you don't write it, you know this, but you are not going to write it. But instead, you are going to use the CAS and get the incorrect answer. You get 0. Don't ever allow them to sort of reduce your mark. It's very easy that you can get rid of a mark. You understand that? Okay. Please obtain all of these things. Similarly, when you are doing other questions also, all the time, try to do something, right? Because you guys are now experienced enough, because you have done almost 35 papers. So you can do something, right? Mathematically show something related. Don't keep anything blank. Please don't do anything blank. Okay. All good. So when I write this, now I'm going to use, so this one and that one are dependent to each other. That's what the question is saying, given that. So dependent means you can use this, the black one. Okay. So probability x greater than 15, right? Then probability x greater than or equal 10 divided by probability x greater than or equal 10, because I told you this one should come here. Okay. Now I was asking how to sort of simplify these two. So you see probability x is your random variable. You can consider that as x line, right? I told you that before also. So 15 is here, 10 is here. So greater than 15 means greater than this. Greater than or equal 10 means I will just draw it like on top. This. Okay. So what is common to this one and that one? For this line and that line, what is common? Common would be from here, this right. This is common. So intersection means common, I told you. Right? So that's why you write probability x greater than 15. Why? Because when you have this and when you visualize it, your domain is obviously greater than 15. Greater than, not equal, right? Greater than, because it should be common to the both. So then this and this both should satisfy. So you can see there the line, and you can conclude that probability x greater than 15 is your numerator value. Okay. Lavinia, got it?
Yeah.
Okay. So this one. So now again, this one, CAS, right? So, but what I'm saying, you can do CAS from here, but until this point, you have to write. That's why they have given you 3 marks. Probably 2 for your this logic, like to, for the formulation, right? And then 1 mark for the final answer. Okay. And variance of a binomial distribution. Okay. Okay. So this bit you have to understand, because when you do questions, you will see you have to use this detail, and when we discuss questions, we will discuss it in the future. So first thing would be expected value. Before that, probability x is equal to x. I would say simple x here. I'm replacing k by x. So this would be n cx px 1 minus p n minus x. You know that. And you know this is a discrete distribution now. So you know you need the mean value or the expected value, we call it mean value, or the expected value of this binomial distribution. That would be 0 to n. N is the maximum, right? 0 to n, right? Because why it is sigma summation? Because it's a discrete one. Expected value would be x times p, probability x is equal to x. Okay, so that would be essentially x times this humongous thing you have to put here, n cx, then px 1 minus p n minus x. Now, how to simplify this in generally? You don't have that in our syllabus. Okay, we don't have that in our syllabus. So, but final result is important. Okay, final result of this one is n times p. Okay, so this is the thing you have to understand, because in some questions they will give you the mean value. So they are not going to give you the p value. Okay, they are not going to give you the p value. They will give you n and mu value. So you can find p value from this relation. Okay, now you understood. Now in these questions here, the p value is given to you, right? See, half 3 divided by 4. The p value is directly given to you, right? Here also see 5 divided by 8. They are given to you. Here see n is given to you 20. But there are questions that they will give you n and mu value. Why they give it to you? I'm telling you to find. That's the clue to find p. Okay, so then you can find 1 minus p, and you can do the question from there onwards. Okay, so that's the purpose of that bit. Now, and there is one thing that you have to note down. Okay, second one is variance. You know, variance of x is e of x squared, right, minus e of x, you know the definition of that, and squared, right? So this also you don't have, right? Why? Because e x squared would be, you put x squared over here and you have to simplify it, and then minus of the mu squared. So you don't have that proof in the syllabus, but if you look at the book is showing it to you, but no, it's not important. Then what is this value? Lavinia, do you understand? Do you remember what is the variance of a binomial distribution? Lavinia? Hello?
Yeah, very slightly.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember it.
Okay. NP 1 minus p. So the sigma value of a binomial distribution would be square root NP 1 minus p. Okay, so this thing you have to understand, right? So from here also you can find that, right? See, sometimes it's the variance is given, so you can find if n and variance is given, you can find p from this equation. Okay, same purpose. Okay, same purpose is here. So sometimes p is given, mu is given, so you can find n. So it's just a, just a small factor which is used to sort of find the unknown. Okay, so this is the last bit that I wanted to teach you, and that would be the end of this lesson.